Hey, how's it going, YouTube? Jacob back here for the JTwoH channel, and today I'm doing a type of video I haven't done in a long time. Man, I can't. Has it been 5 years? 4 years? We're doing a ranked video today, which I told you in my quick blurb earlier about the future of the channel, etc. I said I was going to do, and with the Deadpool and Wolverine film coming out today, the day this is dropping, I wanted to rank all of the original X-Men films. I went ahead and rewatched all of them in anticipation of Deadpool and Wolverine, so now I'm going to give them a proper ranking, which I haven't done on this channel. So just real quick, I'm assuming I do all of my ranked videos like everybody else, and I go my least favorite to my best, or to my most favorite. These are my opinions. They might not correspond with my Letterboxd reviews or the quality of the films. These are my rankings, how I want them, how I rank them. You know, what do I like the least? What do I like the best? What would I prefer to watch, and what would I skip? And I'll just do a quick little blurb about each film. There's 13 of them, so I really don't want to go long. If this video is 13 minutes, that'd be great. If this video is like, 39 minutes, 20, 36 minutes, yeah, maybe I failed 39 minutes. I don't want to go 3 minutes a pop on each film, but yeah, let's get going. We're going to start with, unfortunately, the latest but not greatest. So the number coming in at number 13, my least favorite is the bastard child of the X-Men. We have New Mutants, or The New Mutants. I wanted to like this movie a lot more than I did. Between the cast, with having Macy Williams, Anya Taylor-Joy, and a guy from Stranger Things, I don't remember his name, Charlie Heaton, that doesn't seem right. I really wanted to like this film. It kept getting delayed. I don't know how many times this got delayed because of COVID. I want to say it was at least 4 or 5. It kept getting delayed, kept getting delayed. And when they released it, it got released to a fizzle. And I liked it in the theater. I remember really liking it. Upon a rewatch, it was okay. I think I gave it like 3 stars, and that might have been generous. I liked where it was going. I liked aspects of it, but between the fact that we know nothing else is coming, and it just kind of feels completely out of left field, there you go. That's number 13 for me. Second to last, and I'll show this 2-pack, but it's the X-Men Origins Wolverine. So I guess it would be this side, X-Men Origins Wolverine. I think this is a lot of people's, if it's not their least favorite, it's really close. The Blob comes to mind, the terrible way they treated Deadpool, but in the end, compared to New Mutants, it still feels like an X-Men movie. It's still got Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. It's hard to hate that, especially in my eyes. And some of the things that spin out of here, the Sabretooth stuff is okay. A lot of it is just okay. Which makes it overall as a film okay. There's some good things up here. I wouldn't say there's anything great besides Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. It's just kind of and every time I watch it, I'm just kind of like, I don't remember why I don't like this. And then towards the middle of okay, yeah, it's decent, and it's not bad. None of these films are bad. None of these films are, I hate that I have to own this. This isn't Halloween Kills, or is it Halloween Ends? Halloween Kills, or Terminator Dark Fate. They're not that type of film. We're not going to go that crazy. So that's number 12. Number 11 here is actually on the other side of the spectrum. I don't know if I should switch sides here, but it is The Wolverine, which actually was the first film in the X-Men franchise I watched. Just out of order, randomly, I thought it looked good. Buddies and I were in college, went to see it, or high school, sorry, went to see it, and there actually wasn't that much continuality I missed out on. However, upon marathoning them, it is kind of is left out of continuality. I like the aspect. I like everything about it. Wolverine by himself in Japan, the Silver Samurai, and then some of it gets weird. There's like a quasi love interest, and then there's just the interesting villain, the Silver Samurai. I believe his name is the Silver Samurai. And then the Snake Lady, and it goes a little weird. It's still better than X-Men Origins Wolverine because there's no character I absolutely hate. This one is when it starts ticking into like again, none of these are bad, but like we're teetering now into like good to like pretty good. This is the by no means the bottom of the barrel. Like I said, none of the 13 to me are terrible. And then we go into this one might be controversial, and I have a 3-pack. I'll show it later, but we have X1, so the original X-Men film. Again, it's what, 10th in the list, but it's not bad. Like it does so much for the film and comic book films and X-Men films, and really spins this universe in this web, and it introduces you to all these characters who are famous. These actors who are famous for playing these characters: Beast, Beast, Wolverine, Rogue, Jean Grey, Professor X, Magneto. All of these characters spin out of this, but there's some really corny aspects. It's age at points, but again, it's not bad. This, like I said, this one's going to be controversial, but I think 2 was a better film, and even 3, which again is going to get controversial. So it's just, I liked what it did for the series. I liked the movie. I could watch X1 by itself and be content. That's where we are already in the list. So X1 coming in at number 10. Number 9 is another one that's kind of on the bastard child of things. We have X-Men Dark Phoenix, which, if I recall, wasn't even advertised as X-Men Dark Phoenix. That came after. This was just called Dark Phoenix. This was like right at the beginning of the Fox-Disney merger. This is at the tail end of the new trilogy of X-Men, which I really enjoy. Those are like my X-Men if I were to pick which of the 2 teams. But so we have Dark Phoenix. It is the first X-Men film, I believe, without Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. He was in the first, like, with the exception of Deadpool, first 9, I think. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 9. But Dark Phoenix, I didn't mind the movie. I think it just ticks over X1 for me. Again, I like, as a theme here, you'll see, I really like Sophie Turner. I'm a big Game of Thrones fan. Sophie Turner as Jean Grey, but these two, Michael Fassbender as Magneto and James McAvoy as Charles Xavier, are awesome. They're 2 of my favorite performances. When we get to First Class, I'll talk more about it, but they're fantastic in those roles. But then on the downside, you have Jennifer Lawrence. I won't say phoning it in. I'll say the prop department phoning it in for Jennifer Lawrence, and the weird decision to just not give a shit or try with her makeup, which is okay because then she dies. And that part's really weird. You have I don't mind it, but the scene where they make Professor X walk, some people think it's laughable. I understand the point of that, but, you know, it's okay. Again, I could watch Dark Phoenix. I had no problem watching it. When I watched it, I was like, man, this is good. I don't mind this one. So, and then we're getting right back to the original trilogy here with X3. So X3 for me, it's the conclusion of the trilogy, the original intended trilogy. Picks right back up after the Dark Phoenix saga, and introduces some more new characters. You got like Juggernaut in this. I think Colossus is in this one. I enjoy it. I enjoy it. I typically tend to enjoy the third act. Well, that's just not true. The third act, because it's the closure versus like the middle piece, where the middle piece has no real beginning or no real end. But I lied, because the next film is X2. And this is the set, so it's just a single case. Otherwise, I would show you. I'm not getting the discs out, but of the 3, I like X2, which I believe is Universal. X-Men 2 is liked more than the original, and the X3, but I tend to like X2, X3, X1. You know, is what it is. But again, I like X2 because it's the Stryker stuff starts picking up, and the beginning of the Jean Grey stuff, and I really like X2. I really do. Some of the stuff with Rogue and Mystique and Magneto, and again, it's one of the only trilogies, I'll say, where the second one is my favorite of the 3. Another controversial opinion. I feel the same way about Back to the Future, but that's an argument for another day. Again, we're getting into the after this next film, we're going from great or from good to great, and then to awesome. So, next up is X-Men Apocalypse. Again, this may be controversial, ranking this over the original trilogy, but I really like X-Men Apocalypse. I like Oscar Isaac, Poe Dameron as Apocalypse. Now, I'm not saying Apocalypse couldn't have been done better. I'm saying I liked the actor's performance. Again, I like the Four Horsemen aspect, the way they instituted Magneto, the Jean Grey stuff, which was supposed to lead into Dark Phoenix, which Dark Phoenix kind of fizzled compared to this. We have Jennifer Lawrence, as Mystique in, when they still cared about Mystique. You've got Psylocke, Quicksilver. The Quicksilver parts are great. The X-Men films with Quicksilver are fantastic. So you have Oscar. I believe it's Oscar Isaac. I hope I'm not butchering his name. I'm trying to remember the actors as well as what happened in 13 different films. So again, I don't mind X-Men Apocalypse. Like I said, I like it. The Apocalypse has the second Quicksilver scene with the explosion of the mansion, and I do enjoy that quite a bit, though it is not my favorite Quicksilver scene. So now we get into, like I said, from great to awesome to these. Essentially, these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are interchangeable. I know that sounds like a cop out, but when I think X-Men film and when I'm visualizing where I rank these 5, depending on my mood or the day, are almost interchangeable. These next 5 are really, really good X-Men films. It makes me sad sometimes that people diminish the X-Men films, because these 5 are such good entries and they're so good. So we'll get to. So the 5th in the list is Logan, which is just awesome. The first time I watched Logan, I just absolutely loved it. The second time I watched Logan, I loved it. This last time that I watched Logan, I don't know how many times I watched it, 3 or 4. I really, really enjoyed it. I loved it. I have yet to check out the noir version or anything crazy like that, but Hugh Jackman's send-off, or was it, especially now given Deadpool and Wolverine, was just great, heart-wrenching, and phenomenal. There's not much else I can say about Logan. The dystopian timeline. This was also one of the first comic book movies where I read the source material first. Actually, this is the first comic book film where I read the source material first, though it didn't really play into effect. R-rated, just everything about this film, in my eyes, is a win. X-23 and the relationship there, the dynamic. Next up, the inspiration for the ranking, or at least when I'm releasing this ranking video, the original Deadpool. The original Deadpool film coming out on I believe it was Valentine's Day weekend. Watched it with my girlfriend at the time, who is now my wife. The opening weekend. Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool is fantastic. One of the best castings of all time, even though he was cast as Deadpool in X-Men Origins Wolverine, way down at the bottom of my list. Made it out. Everyone universally praised. That's why Deadpool is the first transitional character from the X-Men Fox universe to the Marvel universe today, as you're watching this. Just fantastic. Hilarious every time. There's several jokes in here where I just laugh at every single time. I've watched this probably the most out of all these films, and it's just still funny every single time. Love Deadpool. And then barely squeaking out above the original is the sequel. I like the sequel better. The character is established. There's the Cable dynamic. The X-Force scene, Slaughter, hilarious. Domino, the Russell, the time bending aspect, the relationship and where that goes, and with Vanessa, and then like I said, the time at the end and the post credits, what does he call it? The time jump or whatever with Cable right at the end, the heart-wrenching moment where you think Deadpool's going to die, etc. So Deadpool 2 barely squeaks out Deadpool 1, and that's the other thing I didn't mention about these. I'm not going to rank Once Upon a Deadpool or the Road Cut. For me, those take place, those are ranked almost identically with their films. Once Upon a Deadpool would actually be further down. It'd be after the first Deadpool, probably even after Logan. But to me, it's not a standalone film. It's just a cut of Deadpool 2. Same with the Rogue cut. But Deadpool 2 is great in my opinion. It's better than Deadpool 1, though barely. And man, I cannot wait. I cannot wait for Deadpool and Wolverine. I've said it before about the top 5 being interchangeable, but these last 2 are so interchangeable they've flipped recently on my list. I had my list ranked, I rewatched them, and I actually switched these 2 because of how I feel about them. So number 2 is X-Men Days of Futures Past, which is just awesome. It's like a Marvel crossover film before Avengers and before all that. Before the MCU did it, this was one of the first big Marvel crossovers, and it's done really well. I like the way they weaved both plot lines together and make sense of things, and it's easy to follow along, but at the same respect, it pays attention to both timelines and where they continue or where they go. And I really enjoy this film. I really like it, and the X-Men team it built, really, this trilogy of First Class, Days of Futures Past, and Apocalypse into Dark Phoenix, which, again, it's a 4th film. What are you going to do? Which brings us to the last one and my favorite one, and the newly crowned top of this list. We have X-Men First Class, which is just awesome. The casting choices, in my opinion, I like these 2 better than the originals. This one is close. This one's not even close. I love Michael Fassbender as Magneto much more than Ian McKellen, Sir Ian McKellen, and James McAvoy. Maybe I don't. Patrick Stewart as Magneto, as Professor X, is amazing, but James McAvoy as Professor X is amazing, especially here when they're establishing the team. Magneto's backstory gets me every time, and his revenge plot, and his going to the bar, and then he's tracking down Kevin Bacon's character, who I'm blanking on his character's name, but Kevin Bacon, potentially starting the Cuban Missile Crisis, and implementing how Professor X met Mystique, and then the not so much love triangle, but the relationship between those 2, and starting the team. And I forgot to talk about the Quicksilver scene in Days of Futures Past. That one's my favorite. I just really enjoy this film, and it's powerful. I think I liked this. The reason I liked this better than Days of Futures Past is because it's not as convoluted. Days of Futures Past can be, but it's not compared to especially some of the multiverse stuff we have nowadays. But this one is just so simple. We're starting a team. Wolverine cameo is amazing, and I love X-Men First Class. It's so good. It is just phenomenal. So that is my ranking there, guys. I know it's going to be controversial. Feel free to debate me, politely in the comments. I'd love to see your list too. If you don't feel like debating, just pop your list up, and I'll always take a look at them. That's one of the things that got me to post these rankings back. And I've also always been ranking these on my Letterboxd. So if you're not already, follow me on Letterboxd. I have all my other rankings of videos I haven't even thought about shooting yet. Rocky, Herbie, Children of the Corn, all sorts of stuff. But let me know what you thought in the comments about my list. Are you excited for Deadpool 3? I know I am. And yeah, other than that, thank you so much for watching. If you want to support my channel, be sure to check out Instagram, Twitter, TV Time, Letterboxd, Blu-ray.com, and eBay. All links in the description. Also a link to my secondary, which is a comic book related channel, which seems key given what this was about, and my tertiary YouTube channel, which is manga. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you on YouTube. Hey, did you like it? Did you subscribe yet? Did you click that notification bell? Go ahead and click that notification bell right there so you never miss anything on the channel. And also over here should be additional features for the channel. There should be a video or a playlist or both, maybe one of each, for you to stay informed and stay on the channel. And also be sure to subscribe on your way out right about here.